friends. This is Dr. Diana as patient, and I am pretty ill. Thank you, everyone who's contacted me to be sure I was doing okay lately. I've been a little quiet on the prettyill.com front as I've been regrouping in order to get more research out to you faster. First, to answer your kind question of how I am doing, I wanted to explain a bit at a time what I'm learning and how the Driscoll theory is expanding. First, how is my POTS? You know, if you saw the latest video, is it POTS or is it dysautonomia, that the two conditions are not one and the same, right? If we have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, this is a subtype of dysautonomia which affects any and all autonomic functions otherwise. Cool? Well, I'm happy to report that I really don't have POTS anymore. Now, this is for my tilt table test, performed at Mayo at my last visit. Every time I had my tilt table checked since becoming ill almost 9 years ago, the results were either exactly the same, which was really weird, or worse. Now, after resting supine for a few minutes and being tilted up at about 70 degrees for 10 minutes, my heart rate went from 75 to 162. Whoa! Now, to meet specific POTS criteria, your heart rate must increase 30 beats per minute in approximately 10 minutes, right? I had what they called a flaming case of hyperadrenergic POTS. So what happened? First, things that did not work for me. Extensive exercise, although it did help short term, didn't end up helping. After a few years, like many of you, I could no longer exercise. I'd become weak, shaky, unable to breathe. Even after a mere 5 minutes, I'd be down for 5 hours. Something bad was progressing in my body. So, did angioplasty help? Well, many of you know I had angioplasty for CCSVI, but didn't obtain much relief from it. In the first few days, I really felt like I was clear-headed. After 5 days, no real difference. As you know from the Driscoll theory, I knew that venous stenosis was part of our problem. So, what was it? As you probably know, my friends, treatment for my mild hydrocephalus and the use of mast cell medications got me over the initial hump. I still suffered brain fog extraordinaire and unbelievable fatigue, though. I still didn't feel like I was there, nor did my son. He was able to go back to school after about 3 years of complete disability, and although profoundly improved, he still felt kind of lousy. So, you know that I've been working on this for years, right? Now, after years, when the fatigue hit, I studied and studied, trying to figure out what my body no longer had. I had already tried the usual Provigil, ADHD meds, etc., with no luck. This fatigue was the type that I could take 5 Provigils, 10 cups of coffee, and fall flat asleep on the floor in my office, the sun shining in, and I could not stay awake no matter what I did. 5 or so hours later, I was ready to try again. Now, was I developing narcolepsy? What the heck was happening? Why couldn't I think? Why couldn't I organize anything or even make a to-do list? Well, I continued to study until I fell asleep every single day, sometimes quite literally. I had to hold open an eye to keep reading. My husband was used to me falling asleep while studying, and he'd reach over to put my computer down one night. When one night I stopped him. Wait, I said, I'm holding my left eye open so I can keep reading. My friends, this level of work was for you and I, our kids, and all of those who are reaching out to me desperate and hanging on by the proverbial thread. I humbly believe I figured this out, thank heavens. So I'm pulling together a team for the trials and will notify you as soon as they are ready, okay? I may need your help, your support, and yes, maybe even your fundraising efforts, because these studies will need IRB support. Think very expensive ethics committees and some institutional help. But by golly, I believe this is what we need until a permanent fix is available. And you know me, I'm working on that too, and would like to collaborate with an institution on what I've worked on that. So meanwhile, some folks have asked me about the results of my angioplasty. Is that what corrected my problems? Unfortunately, no, as I'd mentioned, but have I had any side effects from the procedure? Was it worth it for me? And as you may know, I had a faulty valve at the base of my right jugular vein, internal jugular vein, and that it was ballooned, and the vein was stenotic on the other side of my neck. Okay, it was blocked on one side, too big on the other. Here's a picture of my veins with the fMRI. Because of regurgitation of blood back up into my IJV, I am now searching for sleeping positions that will keep this regurgitation down to a minimum because the IJV collapses when we're vertical. I'm trying to sleep more vertically, which is a real challenge when you have loose joints, discs, cervical issues, etc. Now, my husband took this short video while I was sitting down showing how abnormal my blood flow can be. This was taken post-angioplasty.
Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale.
Now imagine this flow when you are lying down. Yikes. So I am challenged by that right now. Now remember, my friends, I'm including all of our neurodegeneration brothers and sisters, chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, fibromyalgia, MS, chronic Lyme disease, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and others. Our disorders have many comorbid conditions. Although we each may have our own twist in these conditions, we have overlapping presentations that I believe all tie together. So please stay close by as we peel back the layers of the onion, okay? Until next time, let's continue to change our worlds one brain cell at a time if we have to. Please keep your eyes on prettyill.com for the upcoming studies. I'm so excited. I will see you on the forum. Meanwhile, gentle hugs to you all. Bye.